Gabriel stood on the edge of the ancient forest, where the trees whispered secrets of old. The moon hung low, casting an eerie silver glow upon the thick canopy, making the shadows dance like restless spirits. He pulled his coat tighter around him as he stepped into the thicket, knowing well the dangers that lurked within. This forest was whispered about in hushed tones in the nearby village, a place where people vanished without a trace. Rumor spoke of creatures that shunned the daylight and thrived in the dark. Creatures with sharp fangs and an insatiable thirst for blood. Gabriel was not just any man. He was a hunter. Trained in the arts of combat and versed in the lore of the undead, he had come prepared. But as he moved deeper into the forest, an unsettling feeling gnawed at his resolve. The air grew colder, and the silence was only broken by the occasional rustle of leaves. He reached a clearing lit by the eerie glow of the moon, where an old, decrepit mansion stood. Its windows were shattered, and the doors hung off their hinges. A sense of foreboding washed over him. Inscribed on the mansion's gate was a single word: Vagrant, a name that sent shivers down Gabriel's spine. It was a name he knew well, one that was synonymous with pure evil. The Vagrant family was an ancient line of vampires, believed to be extinct for centuries. If they were here, it meant the village was in grave danger. With a deep breath, he stepped inside. The mansion's interior was covered in dust and cobwebs, the furniture long decayed. The air was thick with the stench of death. As Gabriel ventured further, he heard faint whispers that seemed to come from the walls themselves. He followed the sound, descending into the cold, dark bowels of the mansion. The whispers grew louder, more coherent. "Join us," they called, a seductive chorus that tugged at his mind. He shook his head, fighting against their allure. At the end of a narrow corridor, he found an old wooden door. Summoning his courage, he pushed it open. Inside was a large, cavernous chamber, lit by flickering torches. In the center stood an ornate coffin, its lid slightly ajar. Gabriel approached cautiously, his hand gripping the hilt of his dagger. As he peered inside, a cold hand shot out, grabbing his wrist with a vice-like grip. With a swift motion, Gabriel drew his weapon and drove it into the heart of the creature within. A blood-curdling scream echoed through the chamber as the vampire writhed in agony. Other coffins around the room began to stir, their lids creaking open. Gabriel was surrounded. He fought valiantly, but the numbers were too great. Just when hope seemed lost, a figure emerged from the shadows. She was ethereal, with pale skin and eyes that glowed like embers. "Enough," she commanded, and the vampires halted. "Who are you to intrude upon our home?" she demanded. "I am Gabriel, the hunter, and your reign of terror ends tonight," he declared. The vampire woman laughed, a melodious yet chilling sound. "You are brave, hunter, but foolish. The Vagrant family is eternal. You cannot hope to defeat us alone." With a wave of her hand, the vampires descended upon him. Gabriel fought with every ounce of strength he had, but it was a losing battle. Just as darkness began to close in, he felt a strange warmth envelop him. A bright light filled the chamber, and the vampires recoiled in fear. From the light, a figure emerged. It was an old villager Gabriel had saved years ago, now revealed to be a guardian spirit. The spirit drove the vampires back, their screams of terror echoing through the chamber. "Leave this place and never return," the spirit commanded.